Welcome to Granny Shifting. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And this is minute 50. Big 5-0. Over the hill, as they say.
Is that 5-0?
Isn't it? Or is that 40?
40. I don't know.
50 is the new 40.
How about this? 5-0.
Oh.
The famous Ford engine, as they say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about a 5. 5-0s are Fords, right?
5 points slow.
Oh.
No, I don't think that's what they say. The
Anyhow.
5.0 is one of the most
50 minutes.
sought after Ford engines, I think.
This is like at 60 minutes. We're going to say that's a big deal because it's an hour.
Oh, yeah.
I always see these like towns having big celebrations, like our 80th anniversary. I'm like, you're probably going to have your 85th. Like, it's not that big of a deal every 5
Our
years.
79th anniversary.
Yeah, it's like 100. Yeah, 100's big. 50? I don't know. It's 50
50 is a big marker in
more than 60?
years. In years. In
What
minutes
about
of
in
a
minutes?
movie. Yeah, minutes now.
I feel like 60 is more important.
I heard this crazy statistic,
Okay.
all right, about time, since we're talking about time.
Is this a bro stat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that is, but it's not that.
You don't know?
I was just looking at our own video, and I was just looking at your hat.
This is a good hat.
It's a great hat. I love it. What's it say?
Love is Piney Mount Home. I don't know what that means. It was a squirrel.
Anyways, so the
Good hat.
Piney Mountain Home. So the statistic was that 1 million seconds is 11 days. Okay?
Okay.
But 1 billion seconds is 34 years.
Is that true?
34 years, yeah.
They were
I
trying
had
to
to do
help
the
you to
math.
understand like the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire, and this was probably related to Bernie Sanders. And
I don't think it was related to Bernie Sanders.
And
It was
the
just
shot-
a tweet by itself
okay.
that said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, 1 million and a billion are different.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because you think of like millionaires and
You're like,
billionaires, you kind of lump them together as like like people who just have like a ton of money.
Thousandaires.
Right. Dollar
Rich.
heirs.
Dollar heirs.
That's what I'm
You're
sometimes.
dollar.
Sometimes in debt heir.
Yeah, I'm in the negative.
Negative heir.
Yeah, I'm in the negative.
All
I'll
right.
be in the negative for
Thinking
a while.
of negative, let's get back to Brian here.
Yeah, he's in a negative situation.
Yeah. He's
situation.
gonna be dead air in a minute.
Well, we just
Dead air.
talked for like 5 minutes. We didn't even start our minute.
Right.
All right, we'll start over.
Yeah, this is
Welcome
minute 50.
Granny shifting. It's not a big
I'm
deal.
Ryan.
It's only 50 minutes. So
No big deal. Wait till we
Brian
get
is
to
here
60.
with a gun at his head, and it's not a shotgun anymore. Is it?
It is a shotgun.
Why is the barrel so small?
It's just it's your point of view.
It's like a 20 gauge or something. It's a dinker.
Oh, the barrel is it could be 16. 16.
And it looks like a pump shotgun now. Didn't he have a...
No, it was pump before.
Oh, I don't know.
What
my
else is
guns.
there?
We got to talk to our
I mean,
gun
you were talking about a
connoisseur.
single barrel before, and unless it's a brake barrel single barrel, then it's going to be a pump shotgun.
They have the like tilt ones.
That's a brake barrel.
A brake barrel.
Yeah.
They
That's
don't have
where-
like a bolt action.
Nope. Because this kind of shotgun, you would load it in the side, and you can
What
load in
about the
probably
lever
like
action
4.
on a shotgun?
I don't know if they have lever action shotguns. I have a lever action 30-30. That's
Oh,
a big
yeah?
bullet, but not a shotgun.
It's a wife
No, they
gun.
do have lever action shotguns. Going back to my
I made fun of your gun. You didn't hear it.
What'd you say?
I said that's a wife gun. I feel like
oh
I wanted you to hear that because you're gonna like listen back and then not realize you didn't defend yourself.
I don't know. My wife has more guns than I do, so
Oh, snap! Okay, so
who was
we still
burned
didn't
there?
start the minute.
yeah, we still okay. All right. Here we go.
So if
So-
Brian was making up his excuse, his
Right.
story for breaking into Hector's crib. So he started out with, "I owe you a 10-second car,"
Yeah,
and
that just was a terrible start to a story.
I think it makes sense now.
He could have come up with something else. Like, I thought Hector was stealing parts from Harry, so I came in to see if he was stealing parts, because Hector came in earlier. He had a huge wad of cash. Is he stealing parts when I'm not there? Harry told me to come out here and take a look.
Yeah, the water cash, it was all ones, strip club. It
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Yeah, that would have been a better story.
El Gato Negro.
But he's coming out of a unconscious state.
Yeah, he didn't
So
have time
he's
to
struggling.
think of that.
So he just like, oh, race wars and engines and running. So
Yeah.
he's running spoon engines. Which,
3 Honda Civics, which he shouldn't have said 3, because that could be a trigger for Dom.
Yeah, that to know that this guy is looking for 3
Right.
cars specifically.
Right.
So
he says he came into Harry's. He
I
ordered.
didn't know what a spoon engine was, but I guess it's just like a performance.
Spoon was a Honda like performance company, and I
Okay.
guess I'm guessing they would have built a spoon engine, so it would have just been like
It's like the Roush or the
yeah, right.
Right. Okay. So on top of
Cool.
the spoon engines, which I don't know how he knows they're spoon engines because all he did was look at the exhaust and the tires, but maybe they were in boxes off
Well,
camera.
he ordered spoon engines from Harry's.
Okay.
Remember that the little clip art
Yes,
of the
that's
engine
right. The
came
clip
up?
art. Yeah.
3 T66 turbos,
Okay.
which is big, I think.
It sounds big.
NOS turbos and nitrous. This is a intense setup, and an exhaust that we know he needs exhaust.
Definitely.
But what doesn't make sense is why, if he knew he ordered all this stuff, why he'd have to go in his garage.
That's true. Why does he have to go in?
He knows.
He
the
already
parts.
knows that Brian or that Hector's getting these parts. Why is he there? That doesn't make sense. So Dom is skeptical.
I think this is like really actually good acting from Dom.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of like, okay, maybe I believe this, but like, I need to dig a little deeper here.
Yeah.
It's like, what you saying? You're gonna go around and check everybody's garage one after another? Brian says, yeah.
Yeah. Brian's starting to make some headway. He's like, okay, Dom might be going for this. I think
Buying
I'll
it.
try and stand up. Vince is not convinced. He hits him with the gun. He's like, you better watch your step, buddy. Brother. You better watch your step, brother. Brother. No, white people put the R on the end.
Oh.
Brother.
Brother.
Yes.
Brother.
That probably is why it sounds so weird. But
Yeah, so this is
the
why
reasoning
I think
is because
ties
he
it
can't
back.
lose again?
Yes, and that's why it ties back to the 10-second car. So he's saying he's building another car. He cannot afford to lose again.
Hmm.
You know I can't afford to lose again. So it's like he already lost a car to Dom, which, what's he racing anyway? If he's building his car for Dom,
What do you mean?
and then he loses at Race Wars, I mean, is he racing the car he's building for Dom?
No. He's building the Supra
Right,
for
Dom?
himself to race at Race Wars.
But it's Dom's car, right? Because it's
The
car
10-second
he is,
car.
right.
But Brian's going to be racing it. He says, I have to get you racing so I can get some money, make some money off you.
So if he loses, I'm guessing he loses the car, and then he'll owe Dom another car.
Well, I don't think every race is pink slip race.
I mean, isn't that what he's insinuating here again?
Yeah.
I can't lose again because the first time he lost his car, and he said, "I owe you a 10-second car."
Can't he just have enough confidence in what they have? It's a 2JZ, man.
Yeah. Well, okay. So put yourself in Dom's shoes. Brian tells you this. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that this guy is making it up.
You think it's pretty obvious?
Yeah, it doesn't. The story to me doesn't align.
Yeah, I would think he's either like really making it up, or he's just really dumb.
I feel like he's if he feels like he's part of Dom's crew, he would say something to Dom and be like, "Hey, just so you guys know," he would say to the whole crew, "Hey, just so you guys know, Hector came in, wanted all these parts for 3 Honda Civics," and then Dom would be like, "So what? They're Civics. We have a Supra,
Right.
an RX-7,
front-wheel drive, man.
a huge 9,000 horsepower Charger. Like, we're not worried
A lot of
about
horsepower.
3 Honda Civics with spoon engines and
Yeah.
Motec exhaust."
And even if the story Brian just told was completely true, it's stupid, and it's way too high of risk to keep around.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, you're not going to talk to me about this first. You're just going to go like, if you're part of our crew and you're breaking windows and busting into people's shops,
Right.
then,
No, it's not worth the
I'm
risk
sorry.
to keep around.
Yeah. But how did they know he was there?
I guess they tailed him.
I like
They
that.
were-
They tailed him.
Yeah. They were
They've been
skeptical.
following- Oh, so Vince has been skeptical. We know that.
Yeah, Vince for sure has been skeptical.
Yeah.
They either think he was a serial killer. Remember from the very beginning? Spillner sounds like
That's
a
right.
serial killer name. So it looks like Dom might start to believe his story.
Almost buying it, but
Vince-
Vince is like, he's a
Mm-mm.
cop. He's a cop.
And the thing is, we know Vince is right.
Vince has been right.
We
the
don't
whole
like
time.
Vince, but we know that he's right. And
isn't that the amazing, like how amazing that cinematography, is it cinematography? Like the way it's written
yeah,
is designed in a way that even the guy we should be like, yeah, like, come on. It's set up for us to hate him.
right.
And Brian's kind of like the
Like we should
bad
be all
guy
like,
here.
everybody listen to Vince, but we don't like Vince. We're like, just shut up, Vince.
Like if somebody came to you and was like, hey, this dude, and told you a story about this guy who was a cop, it was pretending to be friends, whatever, and you'd be like, I don't want to be around that guy. I don't like
Right.
that guy at all.
Yeah.
That's Paul Walker.
Yep.
But we like him.
Yeah, we do.
It's his eyes.
It's his job. What's he gonna do? It's his job.
Oh, I thought it was his eyes.
Oh. Okay. So this is the part I'm confused about. Isn't it a law that if you're asked if you're a cop and you are a cop, you have to say yes?
Even if you're undercover?
Well, I thought that was a law. I thought that was the whole like entrapment thing.
I don't know that that's entrapment. Would that be entrapment?
Man,
Entrapment's
keep
when a
bumping my
cop
mic.
instigates you to commit a crime.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, so like if a cop, undercover cop would pull up next to you and like rev their engine at you
What is entrapment?
to try to get you to race.
I didn't catch that. Try tapping above to edit.
What is entrapment?
Or they'd set up a bank robbery and make you do it with them.
A law enforcement agent induces a person to commit a crime. Okay, I had it backwards. So what am I thinking of?
But that could still be a thing. It just wouldn't be entrapment.
If you ask a cop if they're a cop, do they have to say yes?
Give me like a Reddit thread coming up on this.
Oh man, are you a cop? Man. This comes from criminallawfreeadvice.com.
Oh, this is good.
Does an officer have to tell you if he's a cop if you ask? No. This is perfectly legal in most jurisdictions. Your question repeats one that is often asked, as people for some reason assume that dishonesty by a police officer should always lead to a dismissal.
Okay.
So then
Yeah,
it goes on to talk about entrapment.
Because that'd be an easy thing to be like, just protocol to just always ask everybody if they're a cop. So if they were a cop, they just like,
Right.
oh, well, you can't, like that's how our system works. You break one little rule and then everything gets thrown out, right?
Yeah. Okay. So
So-
he doesn't have to say if he's a cop or
But
not.
Brian doesn't answer.
Well, he kind of nods. Let's see here. Let's take a look.
Shakes.
He says, "You a cop?"
He doesn't nod.
Yeah. He's panting. So it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
tell the difference between his pant.
He's
and
concussed.
It's as much a no nod as his yes nod was a yes nod.
Right. It's a little like shiver left to right.
It's like a pea shiver. Like, oh.
Like after a shot of tequila.
Yeah. He's just kind of like, no, don't ask me that question. So Dom, look at his face here. I mean,
Now he's not convinced.
yeah, he's like, really? Like, that's your response?
But okay, what I was thinking, like, if you're guilty, that would be really hard to respond in a way. Like, what would be the response?
Nah, fam.
Like, wouldn't you kind of be like disgusted that they're asking you that? Wouldn't that
It
be
would
the
be-
response? Like,
man.
you're offended. Like, you think I'm a cop. Like, I'm trying to do this for you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
How
you'd be
long has he
upset.
been
You wouldn't be
undercover?
like, no, I'm not a cop. Like, what? Why would you
Yeah.
think that? I just broke in and had a
Man.
really sketchy story. Like,
Should be like, seriously?
like, come on, I bailed you out. I ran from the cop. Like, you'd be like
Right.
upset, I think.
Yeah. Agreed. And he's not acting that way.
Or, it's not the first time he's been accused now either, though. So maybe he's just sort of like putting up with it.
Yeah.
Like the first time he might have been a little bit more like that. Now he's just like, Vince, get over it.
Yeah. I'm not a cop. I said it before.
Yeah.
And so Dom's solution is let's go for a ride. And
That's the end of our minute.
Brian's still disheveled, but
No,
should be
that's-
interesting
no.
what
There
happens
was
on the ride.
No blue eyes in this last
Mm-mm.
couple minutes.
No.
here.
They didn't use that. They want to keep him dark. Leather jacket.
Yeah.
Didn't even shave.
Definitely not Dom's leather jacket.
No. Dom would notice. He's like, wait a minute. Is that my
Did you wear
jacket?
my jacket?
Wait. It doesn't say Von Dutch on it, so it's probably not his. All right. Well, that is the end of minute 50. The big 5-0. Or the little 5-0.
Just 5-0.
The 5-0. So
slow.
Thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And always remember,
winning's winning.